This evening we have with us a graduate student from UCLA. He's participated in several events on campus. He appeared at UniPrep. Also, the gentleman has toured Asia this past summer. And now I'd like to present to you UCLA's answer to the Ugly American, Mike Gold.
This isn't a prayer meeting. Let's get the spot on. Thank you, Vern, for that great introduction. It's a pleasure because we so very rarely have a chance to see a positive reason for birth control. There I am. Just another pretty face. Welcome, of course, to the 1965 Spring Sing. And rather than listening to me talk, I would like to introduce two people who are much more important than I. They are the judging co-chair ladies of the 1965 Spring Sing. Ladies and gentlemen, Kathy Single and Carol Stefanik.
Harold Adamson, our first judge, recently wrote for the stage musical at the New York Fair. He has written 40 motion picture scores, 10 Broadway shows, and has received 5 Academy Award nominations. His popularity has increased with his writing of An Affair to Remember and It's a Most Unusual Day. Mr. Adamson.
Lou Hegel, our next judge, is the Director of Music and Bands at El Camino College. He is a graduate of the University of Kansas and has been Director of Bands in the states of Wyoming and Kansas prior to his coming to California. We are very fortunate in having him here with us tonight. Mr. Hegel.
Mrs. Olive Skiles, our next judge, has been a choral music teacher in the Los Angeles schools for 15 years. She is currently in charge of the choral and instrumental music at Palisades High and has been with the All-City Choir for 5 years and the Hollywood Theater Arts Workshop for 4 years. Mrs. Skiles.
Our last judge for this evening is Kelly James. He is presently the Director of Bands at UCLA and is a graduate of UC at Berkeley. He has served as the Director of Bands in San Bernardino Valley College. Besides conducting, Mr. James makes many of the arrangements that our bands play, which amount to about 100 arrangements per year. The band is tremendous in whatever it does, thanks to Kelly. Mr. James. And now I'd like to turn the program back over to Mike Gold. Mike?
I didn't know one of Mrs. Skiles. Hi. The first show I ever did, she directed. Nice to see you. It makes me all warm and runny. Ladies and gentlemen, there are 4 divisions this evening in which people will be competing for the Spring Sing. The first division are what they call the mixed division. And I would like to say something before I go on. I will probably be making comments throughout the evening that are my own. The introductions have all been written by the groups themselves. They have all chosen the songs they want to sing themselves. So if some introductions are longer or shorter, it is not my prejudice. It is merely what was given to me. The first group to compete is Sigma Alpha Epsilon and Alpha Epsilon Phi join forces to present Try to Remember from the off-Broadway musical The Fantastics. It is a song reminiscing about young love. In the words of Tom Jones, the lyricist for the musical, you wonder how these things begin. Well, this begins with a glen. It begins with a season, which, for want of a better word, we might as well call September. It begins with a forest where the woodchucks woo, and the leaves wax green, and the vines are twilight lovers. Try to see it, not with your eyes, but see it with your ears, the cool green breathing of the leaves, and hear it with the inside of your hand, the soundless sound of shadows flickering light. Celebrate sensation. Recall that secret place. You've been there. You remember. That special place where once, just once, in your crowded, sunlit lifetime, you hid away in shadows from the tyranny of time. That spot beside the clover where someone's hand held your hand, and love was sweeter than the berries of honey or a stinging taste of mint. It is September before a rainfall, a perfect time to be in love. Try to remember.
Try to remember and try to remember and try to remember and try to remember the kind of September when life so mellow. Try to remember the kind of September when grass was green and grain was yellow. Try to remember the kind of September when you were tender and callow fellow. Try to remember, and if you remember, then try to remember to follow, to remember Try to remember when life was so tender.
choral director was Evan Williams, ladies and gentlemen. Evan's mother is here. Evan was in the Orient with me. He looks very wholesome on the stage. In Tokyo, he's still wanted for rape. We're going to take a minute in between each number for the judges to have time to mark their cards. Okay. And now from Reber Hall, participating in the mixed chorus division. The chorus will sing Soon All Will Be Done, a Negro spiritual, and Zumgali, an Israeli folk song. And the director is Mr. Ron Harris. Ladies and gentlemen, the Reber Hall chorus.
With the troubles of the world, troubles of the world, the troubles of the world. Sooner we'll be done with the troubles of the world, gone home to live with God. Sooner we'll be done with the troubles of the world, troubles of the world, the troubles of the world. Sooner we'll be done with the troubles of the world, gone home to live with God. I want to meet my mother. I want to meet my mother. I want to meet my mother. I'm going to live with God. I want to meet my mother. I want to meet my mother. I want to meet my mother. I'm going to live with God. Sooner we'll be done with the troubles of the world, troubles of the world, the troubles of the world. Sooner we'll be done with the troubles of the world, going home to live with God. Sooner we'll be done with the troubles of the world, troubles of the world, the troubles of the world. Sooner we'll be done with the troubles of the world, going home to live with God. No more weeping and wailing. No more weeping and wailing. No more weeping and wailing. I'm going to live with God. No more weeping and wailing. No more weeping and wailing. No more weeping and wailing. Weeping and wailing. Weeping and wailing. Weeping. No more wailing. No more wailing. With the troubles of the world, troubles of the world, the troubles of the world. Sooner we'll be done with the troubles of the world, gone home to live with God. Sooner we'll be done with the troubles of the world, troubles of the world, the troubles of the world. Sooner we'll be done with the troubles of the world, gone home to live with God. I want to meet my Jesus. I want to meet my Jesus. I want to meet my Jesus. I'm going to live with God. I want to meet my Jesus. I want to meet my Jesus. I want to meet my Jesus. I'm going to live with God. I'm going to live with God. I'm going Golly, 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 zoom, golly, golly, zoom, golly, 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 zoom, golly, golly, zoom, golly, 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 zoom, golly, golly, zoom, golly, 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 zoom. Ekalut seman aboda leman ekalut, aboda leman ekalut, ekalut seman aboda. Zoom, golly, 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 zoom. Ekalut leman aboda leman ekalut, aboda leman ekalut, ekalut leman aboda. Zoom, golly, 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 zoom, golly, golly, zoom, golly, 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 zoom, golly, golly, zoom, golly, golly, golly. Zoom!
Pleasure to hear a Jewish song now and then. Have you ever, some of you, been over to Reber Hall for dinner? The rats eat blindfolded. You've had dinner there, I see. Now, ladies and gentlemen, also in the mixed division, mixed choral division, Phi Psi Rugbyettes, with a choral arrangement to be sung a cappella, arranged by Solly Terry in the Roger Wagner Chorale Series. Ladies and gentlemen, the Phi Psi Rugbyettes singing O Shenandoah. And now for the last group to be competing in the mixed choral division. Group number 4, judges, Kappa Kappa Gamma, Beta Theta Pi. When the end of a long, dry day in the cotton fields of the Old South drew near to an end, the slave hands would anticipate the swinging and swaying of the chariot wagon that would carry them back to their places of rest. Swing Low, Sweet Chariot is a well-known Negro spiritual exemplifying the moving spirit of the slaves while in bondage. Today, this same spirit is brought out in deeper, more meaningful religious parallels. Ladies and gentlemen, Kappa Kappa Gamma and Beta Theta Pi and Swing Low, Sweet Chariot.
Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. I looked over Jordan, and what did I see? Coming for to carry me home. A band of angels coming after me, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. If you get there before I do, just tell my friends that I'm a-coming too, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. I said swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. I'm sometimes up and I'm sometimes down, coming for to carry me home. But still my soul feels heavenly bound, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home.
You have heard in the mixed division SAE, AE Pi, Reber Hall, Phi Psi Rugbyettes, Beta Theta Pi, and Kappa Kappa Gamma. How about a nice round of applause for them, ladies and gentlemen? I was watching, they have a minute, they have to change backstage and set up for the next division. So while the judges are marking their cards, I was watching Channel 9 Movie Theater. Have you seen Channel 9 Movie Theater recently? Where they show the same commercials and the same movies day in and day out for a month and a... Bye, dear. It's the first door on the right. The day in and day... They always had the commercial with the cigarette thing, you know, where the person comes on and goes like this. I furnished my whole home with Rolly coupons. In one day. Try Viceroy, 20 million filters. Inhale, get a hernia. They have, all right, the funniest thing that they try and do and perpetrate this hoax on the American public is the sex they want to bring into commercials. They got a Julie London kind of figure. I've tried everything. But I prefer a camel. The what? Okay. The next division, ladies and gentlemen, and judges, is the quartet division. There has been a last-minute change screamed in my ear. The first one will be the Sassy Singers. Judges, okay? And we'll get to them. Ladies and gentlemen, the Sassy Singers will be singing two songs. The first song, it says, pronounced with an accent, Jacques and Gilles. Sounds Jewish. The song is from a collection of songs called Mein Großmama sang. Well, anyway, the two songs will be Jacques and Gilles and Lullaby of Birdland. In the quartet division, the first group, led by Andrea Addy. Ladies and gentlemen, the Sassy Singers.
Jack und Jill, abwent das Hill, ein Paler mit Water abfüllen. Jack bin trippen und Oberga flippen und Jill der Water bin spillen. Der Reasoner Jack bin getrippen ist simplisch. Jack bin attempten ein Kisser anputten. Jill bin ein cutischer Fräulein und dimplisch und Jill bin upsetten. Jill bin upsetten, das Jack mit der Futten. Jack und Jill abwent das Hill, ein Paler mit Water abfüllen. Jack bin trippen und Oberga flippen und Jill der Water bin spillen. Lullaby of Birdland, that's what I always hear when you sigh. Never in my wordland could there be ways to reveal in a phrase how I feel. Have you ever heard two turtle doves, bill and coo, when they love? That's the kind of magic music we make with our lips when we kiss. And there's a weepy old willow, he really knows how to cry. That's how I cry on my pillow. Don't that on? If you should tell me farewell and goodbye, lullaby of Birdland. and we'll go flying high in birdland, high in the sky up above. We're in love. Don't da 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 don't da don't da don't da don't da don't. Lullaby of birdland. That's what I always hear when you sigh. Never in my wordland could there be ways to reveal in a phrase how I feel. Have you ever heard two turtle doves bill and coo when they love? That's the kind of magic music we make with our lips when we kiss. And there's a weepy old willow, he really knows how to cry. That's how I'd cry on my pillow. Don't da don't. If you should tell me farewell and goodbye. Lullaby of birdland, whisper low, kiss me sweet, and we'll go flying high in birdland, high in the sky up above. We're in love. La la. Bye.
And next, in the quartet division, two songs, Now You Know and Catch a Falling Star, as sung by the quartet from Delta Sigma Theta.
Have I told you, when I hold you, no thrill thrills me so? Well, if I haven't told you, now you know. Have you guessed that I'm impressed that you chose me for you? Well, if you haven't, now you know it's true. 'Cause when you're near, the days appear too good to believe, and each eve is Christmas Eve. Or when I hold you, have I told you, never let me go? Well, if I haven't told you, now you know. That is, if I haven't told you, now you know. Now you know. Now you know to catch a falling star, catch a falling star and put it in your pocket, never let it fade away. Catch a falling star and put it in your pocket, save it for a rainy day. For love may come and tap you on the shoulder some starless night, and just in case you feel you want to hold her, you'll have a pocket full of starlight. Catch a falling star and put it in your pocket, catch it in your pocket, put it in your pocket, catch a falling star and catch it in your pocket, catch a falling star and put it in your pocket, save it for a rainy day. And when you're trying multiplying, and they just might. It's easy to forget, not even trying, with just a pocket full of starlight. Catch a falling star and put it in your pocket, never let it fade away. Catch a falling star and put it in your pocket, save it for a rainy day. Save it for a rainy day. Save it for a rainy day. Save it for a rainy day.
There's been a lapse in the program. And so they asked me to do something. I'm about to do something. I just thought it doesn't look good, huh? Every time I take these off, I expect my nose to come off with it. I had the real pleasure when I was performing several years back for B. Mitchell Reed when he was in town. Sounds like the... Can we have some more volume on the microphone, gentlemen? Put down the pot and let's get going here. When I was working for B. Mitchell Reed, I had the pleasure of working with such fine classical musicians as Jen and Dean. And during the period of that time, it was the period of the Hully Gully. Remember that? Yay. I composed what I think is the typical teenage rock and roll song, which I would like to present to you at this time. I'm number 5 in the mixed contestants. Thank you. And then I wrote another thing.
Baby, why do I love you?
I don't know, Maurice. Why do you love me?
Come on, baby, you gotta guess.
Is it my eyes?
No, baby.
Could it be my mouth?
No, baby.
Could it be my face?
Oh, God, no, baby.
Well, Maurice, I've been guessing and guessing, and I don't know why you love me. I'm going to have to say that I'll give in.
That's it, baby.
Stick around, I get dirty the second half. And now, judges, we're bringing the Stevens House. It's next. We finally got them. They will be singing two songs, ladies and gentlemen, Deep River and Roll, Jordan, Roll. They, of course, are both Negro spirituals concerning the river. Yeah.
Should I blow it now?
Deep River is a comment on the people contemplating crossing the River Jordan to the Promised Land. Roll, Jordan, Roll is a song which they sing when they have finally crossed the Jordan and are reminiscing about the past. Ladies and gentlemen, Deep River and Roll, Jordan, Roll, the Stevens House, and the River 4.
Deep river, my home is over Jordan. Deep river, Lord, I want to cross over into campground. Oh, don't you want to go to that gospel feast, that promised land where all is peace? Oh, don't you want to go to that promised land, that land where all is peace? Deep river, my home is over Jordan. Deep river, Lord, I want to cross over into campground. Roll, Jordan, roll, roll, Jordan, roll. I want to go to heaven when I die, to hear Jordan roll. Oh, brother, you ought to have been there. Yes, my Lord, a-sittin' in the kingdom to hear Jordan roll. Roll, Jordan, roll, roll, Jordan, roll. I want to go
I didn't mind. I didn't mind. You've multiplied while I've been gone, I see. The last group competing in the quartet division will be singing a medley from Gypsy. Ladies and gentlemen, an independent group, the Treble Tones.
Extra, extra, hey, look at the headline. Historical news is being made today. Extra, extra, they're drawing a red line around the biggest scoop of the decade. A barrel of charm, a fabulous thrill, the biggest little headline in vaudeville. So let us entertain you. Let us make you smile. Let us do a few tricks, some old and then some new tricks. We're very versatile. Ooh, buddy, you're a stranger who's come here, come from another town. Funny, I'm a stranger myself here. Small world, isn't it? Funny, you're a man who goes traveling rather than settling down. Funny, 'cause I love to go traveling. Small world, isn't it? Isn't it? We have so much in common. It's a phenomenon. We could pool our resources by joining forces from now on. Lucky, you're a man who loves children. That's an important sign. Lucky, 'cause I love to have children. Small world, isn't it? Yes. Funny, isn't it? Smile and funny and fun. Wherever we go, whatever we do, we're gonna go through it together. We may not go far, but sure as a star. Wherever we are, it's together. Wherever I go, I know he goes. Wherever he goes, he knows I go. No fits, no fights, no feuds, and no egos. Amigos, together. Through thick and through thin, all out or all in, and whether it's win, place, or show. With you for me, and me for you, we'll muddle through whatever we do together, wherever we go. Go, go, go.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the quartet division. You have heard the Sassy Singers, Delta Sigma Theta, Stevens House, and the Treble Tones. How about a nice round of applause for all those groups?
Yeah.
2 more divisions coming up. We are now going to take a half-hour intermission. Yes, it's a half hour. We need to compute with the judges certain things and do things. So we'll see in about a half hour. And remember, no matter which way you turn, your navel always faces the front. We'll see in a half hour, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. I know sometimes the evening seems dragged out, and that's not, of course, because of the talent being presented. We have a logistical problem. We have over 500 performers this evening, and to get them on and off with as little noise as possible is... And I think, by the way, at this time, I'll say it again later, but I came in kind of at the last minute here, and I've had the pleasure of working with the Spring Sing staff, and I think they deserve a real round of applause for organizing this whole very effective program. Will I get my check now? Tomorrow. All right. The next division, ladies and gentlemen and judges, the next division is the novelty division. We have 2 participating groups. The first is Zeta Beta Tau and Kappa Alpha Theta. Ladies and gentlemen, Zeta Beta Tau and Kappa Alpha Theta singing Our Fair UCLA.
I have often seen this exam before. It has circulated on my dormitory floor. All at once have my grades become so high. Oh, the Air Force has nothing on me. 5/8 notes for your class at 10. Here comes the social science janitor. Hi, Ben! Follow him and go to Central Mimeo. Oh, the Air Force has nothing on me. Feeling just to know I've seen the exam, the overpowering feeling that I don't have to stay up late tonight and cram. Proctors stop and stare, they don't bother me. They got where they are themselves by bagging 2 or 3. It's a perfect way to ensure an A. Oh, the Air Force has nothing on me. Don't speak of stars shining above. If you're in love, forget lockout.
It seems each time I hear this line, I must rely upon lookout.
Here we are together in the middle of the night. Don't talk of dreams, just hold me tight.
I have to get home because it's getting awfully late. Besides, I have another date.
Your eyes meet mine, our hands intertwine. How can you think about lockout?
The look in your eyes, the sound of your sighs, I'm lucky that I must make lookout.
your mind what you'll do.
Forget lockout.
Oh, are you here to join the FSM?
Well, yes, I've heard quite a bit about this thing.
You know, we really do need people like you in the free speech movement.
Free speech movement? I thought it was faggots supporting Mario.
The FSM sits nately on the ground. They sit in foremost any cause around. And where's the FSM? All around on the ground. And where would we like them? On a plane to Spain. When they appear, the men all wear long beards. When they appear, the girls don't wear brassieres. And where's the FSM? All around on the ground. And where would we like them? On a plane to Spain. The FSM sits nately on the grass. The leader of the FSM is
Mario. I just met my leader, Mario.
We're graduating in the morning.
We're getting drafted at noon.
School days are bygone.
We're going to Saigon. Please get me my deferment soon.
We're going to teach the little children.
Don't teach them all that we taught you.
Reading and writing.
That's not exciting.
What else can little children do? We'll say goodbye to all the CBTs.
We'll say hello to the Vietnamese.
We have a plan we know will save you.
Tell us, we'd really like to know.
It will not falter. It starts at the altar.
Forget it, we would rather go.
Those guys that did the bit will never have to worry about getting into service. There's no... You know, I'll be graduating from UCLA. Thank God. And I was thinking, you know, with all the delinquency that they tell us about and all that, the college student of today sure is a hell of a lot better off and a better student than he was 30 years ago. I mean, yesteryear, the days of the speakeasies, right? Vice, sex, corruption, loose morals, dope. Today we call these places sororities. Now, the room's out the door. When I first came to UCLA, I dated a girl over on, well, I'm not knocking Sorority Row. No, I mean, it does look like a bunch of nouveau riche kibbutzes, though, if you ever... And I dated this girl. Well, she wasn't attractive. I rang the sorority bell and it went oink. And more about her later in our next installment. Ladies and gentlemen, the next and final presentation in the novelty division is Phi Delta Theta and Chi Omega, and their Salute to Spring, directed by Don Caldwell. Spring Salute presents the lighter side of springtime, laughing and dancing, singing, and, of course, romance. Years at the Spring, a poem by Robert Browning, portrays the wondrous beauty of the spring. Ladies and gentlemen, Phi Delta Theta and Chi Omega, and a salute to spring.
I sing,
You sing,
we sing,
you sing,
we sing,
you sing,
we sing,
we sing, we sing, we sing. Oh, spring is the time to leap for joy. Oh, spring is the time for fun. Oh, spring is the time of gaiety. Oh, spring lives for everyone. It fills the air, it fills our hearts, it makes us sing.
It is nature's way of giving life to everything.
We jump and dance and laugh and play all the day long. We shout for the spring. Oh, spring is the time of winter's gone. Oh, spring is the time of sun. Oh, spring is the time of meadows green. Oh, spring lives for everyone. Now spring has other magic. It launches Cupid's bow, which makes us all inclining. Our hearts jump to and fro. Take Betty, Lou, and Eddie, two humans we all know. He likes she and she likes he, but this they do not know. Now Eddie, he is bashful,
And Betty, she is shy.
they never meet each other except by glance of eye. I like Eddie's smile,
And I like Betty's eyes.
but he only talks with other girls.
And she dates other guys.
A dilemma we are faced with. What is there we can say except to call on Cupid? Only he can save the day. Oh, Cupid,
Oh, Cupid,
Cupid, Cupid, help us please. Make these two aware. By your bewitching magic, us raise romantic flair. Zing tap, zing tap. So Cupid has his magic set, solving everything. He shows to lucky people the wonders of the spring. Oh, spring is the time to leap for joy. Oh, spring is the time for fun. Oh, spring is the time of gaiety. Oh, spring lives for everyone. It fills the air, it fills our hearts, it makes us sing.
it is nature's way of giving life to everything.
We jump and dance and laugh and play all the day long. We shout, we shout, we shout for the spring. Mornings at 7, the
Ladies and gentlemen, you have heard in the novelty division Zeta Beta Tau, Kappa Alpha Theta, Phi Delta Theta, and Chi Omega. How about a nice round of applause for all that work? A fine performance. We're going to take 5 minutes now to prepare for the last division and collect the votes. Thank you. We hope you're having a nice time so far. We are now entering, ladies and gentlemen, the final judging division for this evening, called the Men's and Women's Division. The first group is from Alpha Gamma Omega, men's chorus. We have picked songs which we hope express our desires, ambitions, and purpose as a fraternity and as individual men. Our purpose is to serve Jesus Christ to the best of our ability. By our songs, we are saying that we ask God to make our lives pleasing to Him. This desire to serve is expressed by the fact that we like to sing joyfully unto Him whom we love. Singing, "O make our hearts to blossom, now sing we joyfully unto God," directed by Wendell Hollis, the Alpha Gamma Omega men's chorus.
Sing we joyfully unto God, we sing, so joyfully unto God, to God, so joyfully unto God, so joyfully unto God. Now sing we joyfully unto God, we sing, we joyfully unto God, we sing to God, so joyfully unto God, so joyfully unto God. Now sing we happily, 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 happily unto God. Now sing we happily, 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 happily unto God. Now sing we happily, 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 happily unto God. Now sing we happily, 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 happily unto God. We sing to God. We sing to we joyfully unto God. We sing so joyfully unto God. So joyfully unto God. So joyfully unto God.
I have a note to the judges. The next group we are going to be presenting is from the quartet group. So you may mark that. This is not a part of the men's and women's chorus. And this is also from Alpha Gamma Omega. Our songs have been picked in order to indicate our purpose in singing and living. Poor Man's Lazarus voices our praise to God, and some days speaks of God's love for us and his desire to have our love and fellowship. This is our purpose, to sing for him who loves us. Ladies and gentlemen, singing Some Days and Poor Man Lazarus, directed by Leon O'Brien and Wendell Hollis, Alpha Gamma Omega's Quartet.
Some days when I get lonely and I feel I've lost my way, I just lift my voice to heaven and pray. Those days when I felt lonely and I prayed to God above, those are days when my heart feels only his love. Though people are nice to have around, they try to understand your need, but somehow they never satisfy. But I found a really true friend indeed. Some days I've often wondered, maybe God is lonely too. Maybe he would like to know that I love him too. Ooh, doom, 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 doom. Ooh, ah. Maybe he would like to know that I love him too. Poor man Lazarus, sick and disabled, dip your finger in the water, come and cool my tongue, 'cause I'm tormented in the flame. He had to eat crumbs from the rich man's table. Dip your finger in the water, come and cool my tongue, 'cause I'm tormented in the flame. I'm tormented in the flame, I'm tormented in the flame. Dip your finger in the water, come and cool my tongue. I'm tormented in the flame. Dip your finger
to eat crumbs from the rich man's table. If your finger can disable my tongue, 'cause I'm tormented in the flame. Cool my tongue, 'cause I'm tormented in the flame. Dip your finger in the water, come and 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 finger in the water, because I'm tormented in the flame, tormented in the flame. I love to shout, I love to sing. Dip your finger in the water, come and cool my tongue, 'cause I'm tormented in the flame. I love to praise my heavenly King. Dip your finger in the water, come and cool my tongue, 'cause I'm tormented in the flame. Dip your finger in the water. I'm tormented in the flame.
You know, I've made fun of some of the sororities and some of the fraternities and such, and I hope it's just been fun. But I've done a show here at UCLA before. I've done 2 of them. And I don't want to be maudlin when I say this, but I think things like Spring Sing prove to administration and to student body leaders that sometimes you really don't have to go out and spend $2,000 to bring in talent. There's plenty of good talent right here on this campus. Anyway. Look at me. Yuck. You're going to make some woman a wonderful widow. Ladies and gentlemen, the next group is back to the men's and women division. It's Sigma Kappa, and the song they are going to sing is taken from the motion picture Father Goose. It is the theme song of that movie. So here they are singing Pass Me By, Sigma Kappa.
I got me 10 fine toes to wiggle in the sand, lots of idle fingers snap to my command, a lively pair of heels that kick to beat the band. Contemplating nature can be fascinating. Add to these a nose that I can thumb and a mouth I gum. Have I to tell the whole darn world? If you don't happen to like it, deal me out. Thank you kindly, pass me by. Pass me by, pass me by. If you don't happen to like it, pass me by. I got me 2 great shoes and never saw a shine. Trousers I can hold up with the laundry line, a lovely patch that hides an awful lot of spine. Shirt tails flying, I'm a bloomin' dandelion. Add to these a grin from ear to ear, all the proper gear have on to tell the whole darn world. If you don't like the assortment, deal me out. Thank you kindly, pass me by. Pass me by, pass me by. If you don't happen to like it, pass me by.
The next group will be the Hershey Hall Madrigals, and it is directed by Esther Cipra. They are going to sing for you two English madrigals from the Elizabethan period. April is in my mistress's face, and Though Philomena Lost Her Love. Both of these songs were written in 1600 by Thomas Morley. Ladies and gentlemen, directed by Esther Cipra, the Hershey Hall Madrigals.
Lost her love, fresh note she wore, but yet again. Fa la 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 la, fa la 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 la, fa la 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 la. He is a fool that lovers prove, and needs to sing to live in pain. Fa la 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 la, fa la 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 la, fa la la la.
What the hell are we all laughing at? Oh, I got to do something. Can you follow up there? The guy in the light? That's good. I was talking earlier, a lot of you folks weren't here, about Channel 9 movie theater, you know, every day the same show. And they always have the show, you know, with they have Horror Week, where they present Frankenstein, the son of Frankenstein, the daughter of Frankenstein, the brother-in-law of Frankenstein. We've got the whole family of Frankenstein on 1 week. And each movie has the same scene, the creation scene, as it's shot right up here in Bel Air. And I'd like to bring it to you right now. It's something like this.
I created a man.
That's what you think. I think I'm now part of the dirty word movement. Ladies and gentlemen, the last group in the men's and women's division is by the University Cooperative Housing Association. Yeah, that's right. And UCHA is the men's co-op, housing just over 200 students. The first selection, Adoramus Te, was written by Jacques Clement. The second, O Mary, Don't You Weep, is a spiritual. Both were originally arranged for the Harvard Men's Glee Club. Ladies and gentlemen, the UCHA Men's Chorus.
Oh, Mary, don't you weep, don't you mourn. Oh, Mary, don't you weep, don't you mourn. Pharaoh's army got drowned. Oh, Mary, don't you weep. Oh, Mary, don't you weep, don't you mourn. Oh, Mary, don't you weep, don't you mourn. Pharaoh's army got drowned. Oh, Mary, don't you weep. And way down there, big white and fair, and many, many, many they perished there. Pharaoh's army got drowned. Oh, Mary, don't you weep. Oh, Mary, don't you weep, don't you mourn. Oh, Mary, don't you weep, don't you mourn. Pharaoh's army got drowned. Oh, Mary, don't you weep. Oh, Mary, don't you weep, don't you mourn. Oh, Mary, don't you weep, don't you mourn. Pharaoh's army got drowned. Oh, Mary, don't you weep. And what a man gave breath to save, through the blind revelation's wave. Pharaoh's army got drowned. Oh, Mary, don't you weep. Oh, Mary, don't you weep, don't you mourn. Oh, Mary, don't you weep, don't you mourn. Pharaoh's army got drowned. Oh, Mary, don't you weep. Oh, Mary, don't you weep, don't you mourn. Oh, Mary, don't you weep, don't you mourn. Pharaoh's army got drowned. Oh, Mary, don't you weep.
Ladies and gentlemen, on the men's and women's section here, you have heard AGO, the AGO Quartet, SK, Hershey Hall, and UCHA, and I think they all deserve a round of applause. Huh? I was here this afternoon, and this entire show, with close to 500 people, was put together in the matter of a few hours in terms of coordination, and each group had only about 10 minutes on the stage. And I think the technical staff, the Spring Sing staff, and all the participating groups deserve a great round of applause for their effort, huh? I'm not going to bore you with me any longer. We're going to collect the things from the judges, and we'll be back in exactly 5 minutes to announce the results this evening. We have Price Warder Boom Boom outside, and they're going to do the tabulations on those IBM machines we all know and love. Oh, it's a long day. Ladies and gentlemen, I think you'll agree the decisions of the judges have been difficult, and they've spent a great deal of time and effort in trying to be as fair as possible. Behind Spring Sing, there is one man that kind of organized the whole thing, and he's the man who's going to announce the winners. Ladies and gentlemen, the chairman of Spring Sing, Mr. Bern Mendenhall.
Thank you, and let's hear a small hand or a large hand for Mike Gold. He's done an excellent job. Mike, you want to come out? Mike will be back with us again tomorrow night with a few quibs. We're going to announce the results, in reverse order, the groups. Therefore, mixed will be last this evening. Could someone turn on the mic, please? All right. Is that better? All right, men's and women's. 2 finalists going to the bowl. Sigma Kappa and AGO. Novelty. Novelty. Both groups are going to the bowl. Quartet division. AGO. Sassy Singers. And treble tones. Now for the mixed division. 3 groups going to the bowl. Kappa Kappa Gamma Beta Theta Pi. Reber Hall. SAA Phi. Tomorrow night we have the oddball and the instrumental right here. Thank you again. I'm Nina.
The NSA delegates who were elected are Kitty Kelly and Judy Linfield. The general representatives who were elected are Larry Higbee and Russ Pike. The new Student Facilities Commissioner is Jerry Friedman. The new NSA representative is Jim Berland. The new Educational Policy Commissioner is Lee Rosen. For head yell leader, the totals are Spence Covert 1704, Terry Stewart, 2154. For President, Dennis Antonor, 1880. Bob Glasser, 2073. Glasser.
All right, now we're going to move back to our program, and that gentleman among gentlemen, Mike Gold.
Don't follow me for a change. I just want to make sure. Are the judges all there? I want to get the police. We're going to enter a new division now, the instrumental division. Number 1 presents Steve and Carrie, a modern folk duo, doing 2 songs. First of all, Ride, which is a song about a young man who takes to wandering and finds himself in trouble over a shooting in the West. He now has a sheriff after him and is headed for Mexico. The second song, Fairly Well, a young man telling his sweetheart goodbye before going on a voyage to sea. Ladies and gentlemen, in the instrumental division, Steve and Carrie.
Ride, keep moving fast. The sheriff is on your trail. Lord, ride, won't you ride? As long as you can last, you're gonna end up in jail. On my 18th birthday, I started traveling through this land. Now I'm almost 21 and I feel like an old man. Ride, ride, keep moving fast. The sheriff is on your trail. Ride, won't you ride? As long as you can last, you're gonna end up in jail. Yeah! Guns are made of metal, forged by the devil's hand. Hadn't been for a 44, I could have stayed with my dear aunt. Ride, ride, keep moving fast. The sheriff is on your trail. Ride, won't you ride? As long as you can last, you're gonna end up in jail. Yeah! 10 more miles to the border, 10 more miles and then we gotta be in Mexico, never see sweet Anna again. And it's ride, ride, keep moving fast. The sheriff is on your trail. Ride, won't you ride? As long as you can last, you're gonna end up in jail. Ride, ride, ride. Yeah! Fare thee well, my own true love. Fare thee well, my dear, for the ship is a-waiting and the wind blows free. And I am bound away to the sea, Marianne, Marianne. And I am bound away to the sea, Marianne. Lobster boiling in the pot, bluefish on the hook. Oh, they're suffering long, but it's not as strong as the ache I bear for you, my dear Marianne, Marianne. As the ache I bear for you, my dear Marianne. If I had but a flask of gin, sugar here for two, and a wooden bowl to mix them in. I'd pour a drink for you, my dear Marianne, Marianne. I'd pour a drink for you, my dear Marianne. Fare thee well, my own true love. Fare thee well, my dear, for the ship is a-waiting and the wind blows free, and I am bound away to the sea, Marianne, Marianne, and I am bound away to the sea, Marianne.
Go out this way, this way. Lights. And two.
You know, I'm going to send Israel over there to plant a tree in your yard. Where is he?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the first song in this next group presents a view of life as seems to be the vogue of contemporary folk music. The second is probably best described as a soft protest. Song leader of this group is Lee Dunn. Ladies and gentlemen, Young Land and The Crow on the Cradle, as sung by the Leeward Singers.
Have you heard there's a place called the Young Land, where a kiss is worth more than pure gold? Lovers walk hand in hand in search of this land, where true love will never grow. Ask me how that I know of the Young Land. Well, now I had a love of my own, but she left me one day. Now I can't find my way, so I searched for the Young Land alone. Lovers who seek soon find that the Young Land's a state of mind. So take a word from the wise and be careful to be sure and love all you can. With a love you can share, you will find everywhere in this world is a young land. Everywhere in this world is a young land.
The sheep's in the meadow, the cows in the corn. Now is the time for a child to be born. He'll cry for the moon and he'll laugh at the sun.
the boy, he'll carry a gun, sang the crow on the cradle.
If it should be that our baby's a girl, never you mind if her hair doesn't curl. Rings on her fingers and bells on her toes, and above her, wherever she goes, sang the crow on the cradle. Rock-a-bye, baby, the dark and the light. Somebody's baby is born for a fight. Rock-a-bye, baby, the white and the black. Somebody's baby is not coming back, sang the crow on the cradle.
Your mammy and pappy, they'll scrape and they'll save. Build you a coffin and dig you a grave. Hush, boy, little one, why do you weep? We've got a toy that will put you to sleep, sang the crow on the cradle.
Bring me a gun and I'll shoot that bird dead. That's what your mammy and pappy once said. Crow on the cradle, oh, what shall I do? That is the thing that I leave up to you, sang the crow on the cradle.
It looks like most of the girls I've dated. We have a mic here? I have to read something of kind of a serious nature. No? Sing, brothers, sing. Sing, brothers, sing. I know I've got a long journey. Sing hallelujah. I'd better get started early. Sing hallelujah. Sing out for the Lord to help you, for it's a mighty strong. Don't you worry about your heavy load, Lord's gonna help you along. Last night I heard my Lord a calling, sing hallelujah. Sing out for the Lord to help you. The Lord is a mighty strong. Don't you worry about your heavy load. The Lord's gonna help you along. I don't know, but I've been told. Sing hallelujah. If you sing aloud, you can save your soul. Sing hallelujah. Sing out for the Lord to help you. The Lord is a mighty strong. Don't you worry about your heavy load. The Lord's gonna help you along. This is for my mother. Sing, 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 brother, sing. My mother, my father, my sister, my brother. Sing, 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 brother, sing. Sing hallelujah. Sing hallelujah. Sing hallelujah. Sing out for the Lord to help you. The Lord is a mighty strong. Don't you worry about your heavy load. The Lord's gonna help you along. Ooh, sing hallelujah. Ooh, sing hallelujah. Ooh, wish I wasn't golden, sitting in my chair, run around my tree, run around my feet, run around my feet, golden green. Oh, little golden green, yeah. Going through this wicked world, going through alone, going through this wicked world, ain't got no home, ain't got no home. Travel almost everywhere, been on land at sea. Going back to Bowling Green, one place for me, one place for me, Bowling Green. Oh, little Bowling Green, yeah. If you see that gal of mine, tell her once for me. If she loves another man, I will set her free. I will set her free, Bowling Green. Oh, little Bowling Green.
Between the ages of 6 and 15, a young boy is very impressionable. His life is one filled with new experience and curiosity. In the south of Spain, we find such a boy who, by the age of 15, shrugs the responsibilities of adulthood for life without frustration. He tells his father so with the phrase, "No, Papa, no." This is his story.
Cuando tuve 6 años corrí al prado a mirar todo lo que Dios nos ha dado. Vi 3 conejitos que estaban bebiendo bajo un árbol en un río corriendo. No, 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 no. Sí, bajo un árbol en un río corriendo. Sí, bajo un árbol en un río corriendo. A mí, mi papá me dijo, y si acudí, yes, sorry, como así. No, 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 papá, no, parece ahora esto yo no deseo. Tenía 11 años, salí por la calle, caminé a lo lejos y entonces oí, y a mí me dijo, ese gran señor, no nos quieres, hijo, a ti tengo amor. Sí, no, no, papá, no, parece ahora esto yo. Sí, papá, sí, os quiero y mucho más, pero no comprendo cosas, me quiero más. Y a mí, yes, sir, y a mí, yes, sir. No, 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 papá, no, parece ahora esto yo no deseo. Tener 15 años, di a mi padre a decir adiós, a él y a mi madre, y a mí me dijo, ese gran señor, no nos quiere, hijo, a ti tengo amor. No, 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 no. A ti yo tengo amor. Sí, papá, sí, os quiero y mucho más, pero no comprendo cosas, me siento jamás. Crías bonitas, porque la gente mata, pone los sueños así en una lata. No, 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 no. Sí, a ti yo tengo amor. No, 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 papá, no.
All right. Nice work. Okay, that's it.
Now to get to a more serious tone, we'd like to sing for you a folk song in which we think the words will sort of speak for themselves.
Soft to the touch is the little fawn who cries for his mother in the frosty dawn. Sweet to the taste is the grape from the vine, nurtured and turned to the mellow wine. A young girl runs with her hair to the wind, and a young man is met who has never sinned. These are the things the world should be, fleeting and tender with no misery. These are the things the world should be, but c'est la vie, for it cannot be. The world should feel a young lover's kiss, warming the heart with a tender bliss, or curl by the fire on a rainy day, like the little lost kitten for a moment's stay. Innocent is the wag of the tail, the curious puppy with his master in jail. These are the things the world should be, fleeting and tender with no misery. These are the things the world should be, but c'est la vie, for it cannot be. Wisdom is seen in the lofty old oak, injured and fretting neath the axeman's stroke. The world should forget the cold and the gloom. He should walk towards a meadow, not into a tomb. His fellow man the world must love, to learn the freedom of the morning dove. These are the things the world should be, bleeding and tender with no misery. These are the things the world should be. But c'est la vie, for it cannot be. But c'est la vie, a blind world can't see.
Testing. How about a nice hand for the microphone, ladies and gentlemen? Good night and good luck. Hello? John? John. Thanks for the... Thank you. Now, yes, I think it's working. I'm going to bite that hand. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a nice round of applause for Chancellor Murphy? Great guy to come down and help out. And now, now a word. You know those 15-second commercials they have on television in station break? You know, 15 seconds, the guy got to sell you his product. Friends, do you suffer from indigestion, stomach trouble, gastric disorder? Do as millions do.
To raise interest.
The next group, the next instrumental group is from Phi Sigma Sigma. They are singing a medley of two songs, It Ain't Necessarily So, and Joshua Fit the Battle of Jericho. Ladies and gentlemen, from Phi Sigma Sigma, Carol and Teddy.
It ain't necessarily so. It ain't necessarily so. The things you are liable to read in the Bible, they ain't necessarily so. Little David was small, but oh my. Little David was small, but oh my. He killed old Goliath, who lay down and died. Little David was small, but oh my. Methuselah lived 900 years. Methuselah lived 900 years. But who calls that living when no gallows given to no man what's 900 years? It ain't necessarily so. It ain't necessarily so. The things you are liable to read in the Bible, it ain't necessarily so. Jericho, Jericho, well, Jericho, Jericho, and the walls
Joshua at the Battle of Jericho.
That morning, Joshua picked the battle of Jericho. Jericho, well, Jericho, Joshua picked the battle of Jericho.
At the Battle of Jericho.
Well, up to the walls of Jericho,
He marched with spear in hand. Go below those ram-holes, Joshua cried, 'cause the battle ends in my hand.
that morning,
Joshua,
Jericho,
Jericho,
well,
Jericho, Joshua, at the Battle of Jericho. Well, the lamb sheep horns began to blow, the trumpet began to sound. Well, Joshua commanded the children to shout, and the walls came a-tumbling down. Joshua, Jericho, 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 Joshua, at the Battle of Jericho. It ain't necessarily so.
Sinus trouble. I'm having my nose done next week, ladies and gentlemen, into a 4-room apartment. I'm renting cheaper. Here we are. Ladies and gentlemen, the next group, or duo, instrumental number 6. These folks are from the Westwood House, and the songs they are going to sing are The Pratties, They Grow Small, which is a song of the Irish immigrants who came to America in the 19th century, and Young Man, a contemporary folk song. Ladies and gentlemen, from the Westwood House, Sue and Jerry.
Oh, the praties, they grow small over here, over here. Oh, the praties, they grow small, and we dig them in the fall, and we eat them coats and all, over here, over here. We are trampled in the dust, night and morn, night and morn. We are trampled in the dust, but the Lord in whom we trust will give us crumb for crust, over here, over here. you crying for, young man? What are you crying for, young man? I cry for the pain of a heart that's torn, tears of a woman when her son is born, and the death of a man in the early morn, and love. And what will you have when your life is done, young man? And what will you have when your life is done, young man? I have the flash of fire in a lover's eyes, great man's life and the death he dies, wind and the rain and the sun and the stars, and love.
Instrumental number 7. From Dykstra Hall, 2 songs, Tell the World and Zombie Jamboree. Ladies and gentlemen, Jerry, Al, and Patsy, the Folk 3.
You can tell nations about that. Tell them what the Master has done. Tell them that the gospel has come. Tell them that the victory's been won. He brought joy, joy, joy to my heart.
My Lord spoke, he spoke so well.
Yes, he did, yes, he did.
Talk about the fires that flame in hell.
Yes, he did, yes, he did. Jordan River is chilly and wide. Yes, he did, yes, he did. I got a home on the other side. Yes, he did, yes, he did. Brought joy, joy, joy to my heart. Can tell the world about this, you can tell nations about that. Tell them what the Master has done. Tell them that the gospel has come. Tell them that the victory's been won. He brought joy, joy, joy to my heart.
My Lord spoke, he spoke to me.
Yes, he did, yes, he did.
Talked about a man from Galilee.
Yes, he did, yes, he did. Times I hang my head and cry. Yes, he did, yes, he did. No, he'll save me when I die. Yes, he did, yes, he did. Brought joy, joy, joy to my heart. Can tell the world about this, you can tell nations about that. Tell them what the Master has done. Tell them that the gospel has come. Tell them that the victory's been won. He brought joy, joy, joy to my heart. Can tell the world about this, you can tell nations about that. Tell them what the Master has done. Tell them that the gospel has come. Tell them that the victory's been won. He brought joy, joy, joy to my heart.
Thank you.
It was a zombie jamboree, took place in a New York cemetery. It was a zombie jamboree, took place in a New York cemetery. Zombies from all parts of the island, some of them was great Palestinians. And the season was carnival, they get together in Bacchanal and they singing back to back, belly to belly. Well, I don't give a damn 'cause it don't matter really. Oh, back to back, belly to belly at the zombie jamboree. Now you're talking back to back, belly to belly. Well, I don't give a damn 'cause it don't matter really. Oh, back to back, belly to belly at the zombie jamboree. One female zombie wouldn't behave. See how she jumping out of the grave. In one hand she holding the rum, with the other hand beating the Congo drum. Lead singer start to make his rhyme, while the other zombies rattling in time. One bystander had this to say, it was a trick to see the zombies break away, and they singing back to back, belly to belly. Well, I don't give a damn 'cause it don't matter really. Oh, back to back, belly to belly at the zombie jamboree. Now you're talking back to back, belly to belly. Well, I don't give a damn 'cause it don't matter really. Oh, back to back, belly to belly at the zombie jamboree. Now I must speak to Miss Bridget Bardot and say, Miss Bardot, please take it slow, 'cause all they men think they're Casanova when they see that she's barefoot all over. Give an old man out and toe peek up
don't give a damn, 'cause it don't matter, Willie, oh, back to back, belly to belly at the zombie jamboree.
A little softer.
Back to back, belly to belly, well, I don't give a damn, because it don't matter, Willie, oh, back to back, belly to belly at the zombie jamboree.
Once again now.
Back to back, belly to belly, well, I don't give a damn, because it don't matter, Willie, oh, back to back, belly to belly at the zombie jamboree.
This afternoon I went to the new music center and saw The King and I, and it brought, we were talking about it backstage, I was thinking of, the original was done by Yul Brynner, and I happen to know through some friends of mine, Yul Brynner is going to do a television series next fall. It's called The Valley of the Nile. You have to picture the opening scene. There are tens of thousands of slaves surrounding the white sands in the River Nile. And Yul Brynner turns to these slaves and says, as only Yul Brynner can say, "Hi there, pyramid builders. What are you laughing at? I'm the Pharaoh." That's a fake of a snake. Will somebody translate for the Greeks? Okay, now, oh, the clan will ride tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, instrumental group number 8. Also from Dykstra Hall, Wade, Tom, Ralph, and Gary. The songs they will be singing are The First Time and All the Good Times. Ladies and gentlemen, from Dykstra Hall, the Other Brothers.
In your eyes, and the moon and stars were the gift you gave to the dark and the empty skies, my love, to the dark and the empty skies. Felt the earth move in my hand, like the trembling heart of a captive bird that was there at my command, my love, that was there at my command. Your heart beat close to mine. I knew our joy would fill the earth and last to the end of time, my love, and last to the end of time. If you say that all the good times are gone, if you say this rain will keep raining on, I'll walk along with my head held high, Find that song and I'll sing it to the sky. I may be wrong, but I'll live until I die. That's the way it's gonna be. Wait and see. Even though you say the devil knocks at my door, though you say my ship will not reach the shore, I've got a will and 1,000 ways. I've got a dream of 1,000 better days. I've got a smile that just stays and stays. That's the way it's gonna be. Wait and see. Even though you say I've reached the end of my rope, though you say the tides are all running low, keep on waiting for me round the bend. I won't stay down till the count of 10. Said it before and I'll say it again. That's the way it's gonna be. Wait and see. Even though you say that all the good times are gone, though you say this rain will keep raining on, I walk along with my head held high. Find that song and I'll sing it to the sky. I may be wrong, but I'll live until I die. That's the way it's gonna be. Wait and see. Just you wait and see.
Last night, after the prelims, I noticed there were, I can mention this group since they're not in anymore. I was invited over to a fraternity to have a glass of ginger ale. Oh boy, those guys would go up there and try and drink Canada Dry. Well, anyway, and I went up there, and I saw there were people. That's all they were doing was drinking stuff that said alcohol, and boys and girls were touching, and there's nothing like the college fraternity man of today. Last night I picked on the girls. Boy, the animals over in these places over here. I went over. Wait a second. It's not only. I have to admit, it's not only fraternities. It's all over. I mean, the guy, he's suave, he's debonair, he's continental. You want to see girls? You go to one of these parties, stag, right? And they're sitting around on the couches. Who will ask me to dance? Who? Right? And the guys are always standing around in a circle, right? I'm going to tell you exactly what they're saying. See that? Don't look. See that girl over there? And the guy, the college guy, he's suave, he's debonair, he's continental. I'd like to present one of these guys asking a girl to dance at one of these dances. Move over, light man.
Baby, do you want to dance with me, huh?
I don't dance with a child.
Baby, if I knew you in that condition, I wouldn't have asked you.
Then oh, terrible, just terrible. And now to continue on in the instrumental division, ladies and gentlemen, representing Sigma Chi. This next group would like to present to you two original songs composed by members of the group. The songs are entitled Run Boy Run, and That's Where I'll Lay My Body Down. Have you guys heard these songs? Ladies and gentlemen, representing Sigma Chi in Run Boy Run, and That's Where I'll Lay My Body Down. Ladies and gentlemen, the Gateway Men.
wind calls. Run, boy, run. Keep on moving until I fall. Run, boy, run. My sister is the Holland wind, and my brother the restless sea. I can't rest, I cannot sleep, until my soul is free. And I'm on my way, the night wind calls. Run, boy, run. Keep on moving until I fall. Run, boy, run. I run from civilization, and I run from nature too. But I really run to catch a love forever true. And I'm on my way, the night wind calls. Run, boy, run. Keep on moving until I fall. Run, boy, run. The city is my enemy, loneliness my friend. God knows I'll not be happy till I'm on the road again. And I'm on my way, the night wind calls. Run, boy, run. Keep on moving until I fall. Run, boy, run. Run, boy, run. The hills are greener on the other side. The leaves are scattered on the ground. The mist is shining in the morning's light. That's where I'll lay my body down. The birds are whistling their melody. The day is filled with many sounds. The breeze is rustling the summer leaves. That's where I'll lay my body down. The breeze, the trees, the birds, the sky are calling me. They join with me to sing a plaintive sound. All the land is filled with wondrous harmony. That's where I'll lay my body down. The hills are greener on the other side. The leaves are scattered on the ground. The mist is shining in the morning's light. That's where I'll lay my body down. That's where I'll lay my body down.
There she is, yeah. Tugboat Annie with shore leave. How is Miss Sheridan? Well, don't sweat the army. Ladies and gentlemen, the next instrumental group is from Zeta Psi. They will be singing two songs, Julianne and the Johnson Boys. Ladies and gentlemen, representing Zeta Psi, the Basement Balladeers.
sunny side of Sunny Mountain, that's the place it all began. There once lived the fairest maiden, and her name was Julianne. Julie's beau was tall and handsome, just a poor boy with treasures few. Still he promised rings of silver, for to prove his love was true. Have you seen her in the moonlight? Silver rings upon her hand. Now she wears a crown of sorrow, and her name was Julianne. Wake me early in the morning, ere the birds begin to sing. I'll get silver from the mountain, and I'll fashion me a ring. Off he rode across the mountain, when the fields were wet with dew. But instead he went a-rambling, and a-courting Jenny Lou. Have you seen her in the moonlight? Silver rings upon her hand. Now she wears a crown of sorrow, and her name was Julianne. Cabin door was standing open on that wild and lonely night, and the hound dog lay and lying in the gloomy candlelight. They found the shattered empty rifle, and the shawl she used to wear. But they never found Miss Julie, and they never found the hungry bear. Johnson boys raised in the ashes didn't know how to court a maid. Turn their backs and hide their faces. Sight of a pretty girl makes them afraid. 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 Sight of a pretty girl makes them afraid.
Johnson boys, they come to
Didn't know where to put their feet. 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 Johnson boys, they went a-courtin', riding in a Chevrolet. They come home broke and walking, had no money for to pay their way. 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 Had no money for to pay their way.
Johnson boys are cheating, they had done it all their
But it keeps them on the knife, but it keeps them on the knife, but it keeps them on the knife, but it keeps them on the knife. Johnson boys will never get married, they'll live single all their life. They're too scared to pop the question, ain't no woman that'll be their wife. Ain't no woman that'll be their wife, ain't no woman that'll be their wife. Ain't no woman that'll be their wife, ain't no woman that'll be their wife. Shame, shame on the Johnson boys.
That's coffee. Last night, we discussed Channel 9 movie theater and the Munster movie, which most of you were here remember. And one of the other things that is found every other week on Channel 9, day in, day out, day in and day out, are the German war movies. The submarine movie with John Carradine, you know. And there's always a scene in it like this. Bling, 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 bling. Ach, der Liebe, Dach am Meer kann's Gekruse.
Mein Kapitän, der amerikanske Cruiser. Oh! Der amerikanske Cruiser, hm? Well, we see about this. Up periscope. No!
You people really dig pain, don't you? Ladies and gentlemen, the last group on the instrumentals and the last group to compete in the semifinals of Spring Sing prelims. From the Skin and Scuba Club, you need another member? From the Skin and Scuba Club, well, what are you going to do? They will be singing two folk songs, the first being John Hardy, a much abbreviated version of a traditional American folk song describing the life of a notorious criminal and his death on the gallows, and the second song, Maladost, a traditional Russian folk song of the joys of youth set to their own music. Ladies and gentlemen, the New City Folk Trio.
John Hardy was a fighting man, carried a razor every day, killed him a man in Mobile town. Ought to see my Johnny get away, ought to see my Johnny get away, get away, get away, get away, get away. John Hardy was standing at the bar, so drunk he could not see. Along came a man with a warrant in his hand, crying, Johnny boy, why don't you come with me? Johnny boy, why don't you come with me? John Hardy had a pretty little gal, kept her dressed in blue, saw her in the hanging crowd, crying, Johnny boy, I'll be true to you. Johnny boy, I'll be true to you. Get away, get away, get away, get away. I've been to the east and I've been to the west, been this whole world around, been to the north and I lived in the south. This will be my burying ground, this will be my burying ground. I've been this wide over, I've been this whole world round. I've been to the river and I've been baptized. This will be my burying ground. This will be my burying ground. Dinge dalet vaja Frida rožnaja, oj ti radaš malanaja, leva spožnaja, košta njeva gida kaki košna moračina, kaki nijo jadna jada dobra, malađožnaja, malađožnaja.
Pidaru, hai, 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 Kostaneva Gida Kaki Tosha Moya Shira Kaki Nio Vyata Yadaroga, Maladyoznaya, Maladyoznaya. Hai, 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 Mjölta Dinga Bavet Baja Pidaroznaya, Vajtirare Shmalanaya, Levas Moznaya, Kostaneva Gida Kaki Tosha Moya Shira Kaki Nio Vyata Yadaroga, Maladyoznaya, Maladyoznaya. Hai, 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 Mjölta Dinga Bavet Baja Pidaroznaya, Vajtirare Shmalanaya, Levas Moznaya. Hey!
Ladies and gentlemen, you have heard Thelta Data Chi, From Nowhere, Stephen Carey, the Leeward Singers, Phi Sigma Sigma, Westwood House, the Folk Three, the Other Brothers, the Gateway Men, Zeta Psi, and of course last, the New York Folk Trio. I think all the groups this evening deserve a great big round of applause for a fine evening's entertainment. Yes, sir. I would like to thank the people I've worked with here on the staff, and at this time, I would like to introduce the gentleman who's a fellow student who's in charge of the entire Spring Sing. Ladies and gentlemen, John Mendenhall.
It's really burned, but let's give a hand to Mike Gold at this time for a terrific job this evening. Mike. I love you. At this time, we're going to take about a 10-minute break because, as you know, we have quite a few groups to tabulate. So 10 minutes, and the results will be announced here. Thank you. All right, first of all, we'd like to see all of the winning song leaders in 2412 after the announcements to go over some arrangements and the music with Kelly James. First of all, oddball division. 2 groups going to the bowl. 2. This is due to the scores. There was quite a bit of divergence between the winners and the losers. Kappa Kappa Psi. A Phi O. Just as there was a wide gap in the oddball, there was a very tight, packed group in the instrumental. Therefore, we're taking 6 groups. Your sheets will be available in the Spring Sing office tomorrow. Yes, I know. Let's get this out before we hit the roof. Huh? Your sheets will be available for examination in the office tomorrow. These are not in the order of finishing. First of all, Sigma Chi. Dykstra Hall Folk Trio. Dykstra Hall Others Brothers. Zeta Psi. Skin and Scuba. Theta Delta Chi. Sophomore class.
Good evening. Good evening to the judges. Welcome back. Hello to the new people. My name is Mike Gold. Big deal. And it is my privilege to be emceeing here at the Spring Sing. To get everything going, I'd like to introduce to you the co-chair ladies of the judging committee to introduce the judges this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, Kathy Single and Carol Stefanik.
Thank you. Mr. Breidenthal, our first judge for this evening, had professional experience with the St. Louis Symphony and producer for Spotlight on Youth TV series. He has been a teacher for 6 years at USC, musical director for professional ballets, and shows his versatility through his magazine articles, as well as being the author of 3 books of poetry. Currently, he is director of music at James Monroe High School. Mr. Breidenthal.
Albert McNeil, our next judge, is a graduate of UCLA. He was awarded his master's degree in music from USC and became a candidate for the degree of doctor in the musical arts. He founded his own group of singers and is presently chairman of the Department of Music at Dorsey High School and a staff conductor for the youth division of the Los Angeles Bureau of Music. Mr. McNeil.
Dr. Anthony Vigiano, our next judge, is a graduate of New York University. He has taught music in Pennsylvania and Massachusetts and is presently chairman of the music department of the Santa Monica City College and director of the Madrigal Singers. Dr. Vigiano.
Our last judge for this evening is Kelly James. He is presently the director of bands at UCLA and is a graduate of UC at Berkeley. He has served as director of bands at San Bernardino Valley College. Besides conducting, Mr. James makes many of the arrangements that our band plays, which amount to about 100 arrangements per year. The band is tremendous in whatever it does, thanks to Kelly. Mr. James. And now I'd like to turn the program back over to Mike Gold. Mike?
I would like to state a few things that we said last night for those of you who are new. All the introductions that I will be giving, with the exception of the side remarks I occasionally make, were written by the individual groups themselves. They vary in length and content, and this isn't my prejudice or the committee's prejudice. It's simply what they wanted. This evening, as of last evening, and I should have explained it, in between each number, there's kind of a dead spot. So please bear with us. We want to give the judges time to consider their judgment, and so that everyone is treated fairly. So it might slow up occasionally. We're dealing with 400 or 500 people performing for you this evening. There are more people on stage than are out there, and bear with us. Okay, we have 2 groups this evening. The first group, which we will be judging on, is called the Oddball Division. And the first group competing for the Oddball Division is the band honorary organization, Kappa Kappa Psi. Their number is entitled Praise the Lord and Pass the Ammunition, Kappa Kappa Psi.
Take me back to dear old Dixie, that's the only little old place for little old me. Old times there are not forgotten, roping sleighs and selling cotton, and waiting for the Robert E. Lee. I'll go back to the Swanee, where Viagra makes you scrawny, and the honeysuckle clutters up the vine. I really am a fixin' to go home and start a mixin' down below that Mason-Dixon line. I want to go back to Alabama, back to the arms of my dear old mammy. Her cooking's lousy, her hands are clammy, but what the hell, it's home. Yeah! I want to go back to Dixie, want to be a Dixie pixie and eat cornbone till it's coming out of my ears. Want to talk with southern gentlemen and put my white sheet on again. I ain't seen one good lynching in years. The land of the boll weevil, where the laws are medieval, is calling me to come and never roam. I'll go back to the Southland, that yawl and shut my mouth and get ever so decadent. There's no place like home.
It just frightens me to think of where they got the Klan outfit. We'd like to thank the campus police for allowing them to use their helmet. You know, they're painting their police cars a new color. Ambush. You drive down the street and a tree comes up and gives you a ticket. Okay? The next group in the instrumental division, I goofed. There's a note to the judges here. We are going to, because of time, judges, put one of the instrumental group in next. Okay? So make a note of that. This does not belong in the oddball division. It belongs in the instrumental division. I'm in great shape tonight, boy. This group is called the Crowd, for your notes, judges. The members of the group are Rick Kopp, Cindy Rutker, Sam Bickford, and Junie Heiner. The two songs they will be singing is He Was My Brother, a contemporary song in the folk tradition which portrays today's struggle for freedom and equality, and All My Trials, one of the standards of folk music. Both songs were arranged by the group. Ladies and gentlemen, competing in the instrumental division, the Crowd.
Born to
The next group I'm only going to pronounce once because it's the New Perspicacity Singers. This group was originally formed as an organization analogous to Alcoholics Anonymous, directed towards helping its members combat an ill effect of the hated drug no-dose, namely insomnia. Having failed in this endeavor, they tried to make the most of what they had, namely insomnia, so they spent their artificially produced waking moments contemplating their times and their culture through the medium of song. Feeling that they needed some form of identification as a separate ethnic entity, they selected the keynote of the slogan which was responsible for the group's conception, which was, quote, "Be perspicacious, take no dose," unquote. So they are the New Perspicacity Singers, since it was agreed that the old Perspicacity Singers, if they had ever existed, must surely have died from exhaustion. Ladies and gentlemen, here they are, the New Perspicacity, the next group.
Cindy Jane, well, goodbye my sweetheart Cindy Jane. Farewell and goodbye, I'm on the morning train. Your mean mistreatment drove me near insane. Honey, won't you ease my troubled mind? Well, honey, won't you ease my troubled mind? Have you got a reason for treating me unkind? Honey, won't you ease my troubled mind? Tell me why you do the way you do. Well, tell me why you do the things you do. I know I've been untrue, so now I'm leaving you. You're too time once too often, now we're through. Baby, when I'm gone, well, who'll be your honey from now on? Chilly winds are telling me it's time to travel on. Who'll be your baby when I'm gone? Farewell, my honey, Cindy Jane. Well, goodbye, my sweetheart, Cindy Jane. Farewell and goodbye, I'm on the morning train. Your mean mistreatment drove me near insane. Farewell and goodbye, I'm on the morning train. Your mean mistreatment drove me near insane. Hey. I'm gonna tie my hope to Freedom's star. I'm gonna spread the word both near and far. Stand tall, young man, hold your head up high. The gift of freedom you cannot buy. Hold tight, my brother, to Freedom's star. In a world so full of doubt and fear, every man must guard his right so dear. Listen to what's said and know what it means to hold those things so pure and so clean. In our freedom's eyes, a man's a man, if he's yellow, black, or white, or tan. Our people must believe and must lead the way. far. Stand tall, young man, hold your head up high. The gift of freedom you cannot buy. Hold tight, my brother, to freedom's star. Liberty's weight is a heavy load. Takes a strong man's heart to tote that load. To decide for himself and to speak out loud. To be his own makes a man so proud. I'm gonna tie my hope to freedom's star. I'm gonna spread the word both near and far. Stand tall, young man, hold your head up high. The gift of freedom you cannot buy. Hold tight, my brother, to freedom's star.
The new precipitation singers. There's judges. There's been that group was competing under the instrumental division. Obviously. The NBC television program, That Was the Week That Was, otherwise known as TW3, goes off the air on May 4th. We are saluting the demise of this weekly social satire show with our own college version. That was the show that was. TW, TS, TW. We look in on the dress rehearsal of TWTSTW's year-ending show, which summarizes the highlights of the past college year. Ladies and gentlemen, Phi Epsilon Pi fraternity, led by Greg Gordon and Stu Zimmering, song leader, titled TWTSTW, That Was the Show That Was.
Hi there! My name is Sherman Oaks, that suave, sophisticated, debonair Playboy director on this show. Okay, gang, this is our final run-through, so let's make it good. All right, Ed, from the top.
And now, live from the fabulous George Wallace Tunnel of Love, the National Broad Chasing Company brings you TWTSTW. That was the show that was. With our own TWTSTW girl, Misguided Ames, direct from her supporting role as the midwife in Birth of a Nation. And also featuring our own chordal mistakes, Bobby Blimp and the Inflatables.
This was the year that saw
turmoil on the coast.
Kerr and Strong will roast.
At Berkeley, Mario Saliva reigns. He's giving Clark Kerr labor pains. The regents are saying that Kerr is all wrong. For once in his life, Kerr's glad he's not strong.
Headlining at Berkeley this week is Mario Saliva and his FSM.
What does FSM stand for?
Fear of Silence Maniac. Get it?
Wait a minute. I don't think that's very funny.
Up at Berkeley, it was a riot.
At Air Force Academy, cheating is news. We've learned from the Fly Boys, we're doing it too. The student who cheats is really quite fly, 'cause he knows where the answers lie.
We're having a cheat wave, a topical cheat wave.
What's wrong?
Boy, I've got that big midterm coming up next week. Hypocritical society hasn't given me time to study for it. Say, do you know any good ways to cheat?
Well, one of the best ways I know is to roll your own cigarettes. You see, you write the answers on the paper, and then you hope the smoke gets in your eyes.
That's a swell idea. Gee, thanks, Professor.
The blood bank arrives at UCLA. The squeamish, anemic shout, hip hip hooray. A guy takes a gal on a real cheap date. Let's go to the bank, he says to his mate. The cause is a good one, we cannot deny, but sometimes the very best plans go awry.
What's wrong with Jack? He's been moping around the house all day. Did he and Judy break up?
Well, they both decided to give blood at the UCLA Bloodmobile yesterday.
Yeah? What happened?
It was pretty tragic. He found out that she just wasn't his type.
Sorority presents bring many a beau. You meet a new girl on sorority row. Sorority presents target in sight. Let's all take a walk on Broadway tonight.
Jack Casanova.
What's up, Jerry? Holy cow, where did you get that black eye?
I got it from following that crummy advice you gave me on dating that girl I met at sorority presents.
I don't understand it. Don't you remember what I said? I said, kiss her when she least expects it.
Oh, brother, I thought you said where she least expects it.
Well, friends, that just about concludes the show for tonight. Well, it does whether you're our friends or not. Stay tuned now for the double late movies. Tonight's features are Goodbye, Mr. Chips, starring Laura Scudder, and Godzilla Goes Hawaiian.
That was the show that was. That was the show that was. That was the show that was.
Good night, everybody.
Can we have the mic on? It's on now. How about a hand for the sound crew back there, ladies and gentlemen? Proof that mental illness strikes every 30 seconds. I was just thinking of a commercial. They have a brand, with the deodorants they have out now, they've got a brand new one for race car drivers. It's called Pit Stop. They have, now, the next group, also in the oddball category, is from Alpha Epsilon Pi. This is a parody group on the administration and the war between the administration and the students. Ladies and gentlemen, Alpha Epsilon Pi and the sound of protest.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Regents of the Multiversity of California.
Attend! Hey! Gentlemen, Mr. Kerr is coming.
Good morning, Clarker. Good morning, Clarker.
We tore up your resignation. We love you, Clark Kerr.
Gentlemen, as you may well be aware, the students have been quite restless recently. And furthermore, I concur. The students are revolting. I'll say they are, but there's no reason to interrupt the meeting to tell me. No, you don't understand. They've declared open warfare. Open warfare? You're kidding my bod.
The school is alive with the sound of protest. The students are wild for more sex and beer. They want grades and units, a diploma but no test. We regents are filled with 1,000 fears. The kids have to run and fly and eat at the coop and denounce at Hyde Park, to dance and romance their love to advance and make out after dark, to laugh like hyenas at their very first class, which begins at noon, to carry no books or paper, just a daily Bruin. I go to the school when required only. I know I will hear what I've heard before. The students all cheer, and in turn they stone me, and I'll cry once more.
Mr. Kerr, you'll have to do something. The students will be here any minute. Any minute, do something. No, not that. You'll have to find someplace to hide, someplace far away from campus. But where? You know.
Climb every mountain, ford every stream, follow every rainbow till you reach the dorms.
Yes, the dorms. Glad I thought of it. Let's go, men.
Well, men, we've almost got our petition to revolt approved. All we need is the dean's signature.
Dean's signature?
Wait a minute. The deans are gone.
Hey, that's great. Now we can do anything we want to. Sure, I can go study in the stacks.
And I'll park in the restricted area.
Yeah. And we can all go pour syrup over Welton's waffle.
Oh, but Chief, then we'd eat it.
Never mind. Never mind. Let's go.
Come on, let's start. Come on. Gentlemen, we can't stay here in Dykstra Hall any longer. We'll starve to death. All there is to eat here is dorm food. You're right. I didn't want to resort to this, but we'll have to get our ultimate weapon. What's that? You know, we'll call out the Unicops.
But that's no good. We need something that works. We'll just have to compromise.
Compromise, yes, I know. We'll lower the incidental fees.
But then we'll have no money.
Aha, we'll outfox them. As soon as we lower the incidental fees, we'll hire a picket to start a new movement, the HIF, higher incidental fees. Soon all the students will be demanding to pay more money.
Great idea, Chief.
Office boy, go tell the students we've lowered the fees. I've told them and they've surrendered. At last we've got everything in order, everything perfect, everything regimented.
Red cards, ID cards, and numbers for students. Everything's screwed up with red tape and prudence. Those damn left-wing picketers tied up with strings. These are a few of my favorite things.
15-pound catalogs and schedules of classes. Girls who wear dresses that show off their figures. Everything filed by IBM machines. These are a few of my favorite things. When the students riot, when the school burns, and we're going mad, we simply remember the power we have, and then we don't feel so bad.
Great, guys. Let's build a football stadium. Ready down. Up one, up two. The other way. Ready, up.
I couldn't decide whether that was Clark Kerr or Myron Cohen. Well, we were talking about deodorants, weren't we? How about, can you move that? Ah. You're going to make some woman a wonderful widow. And slow audience tonight. No, this is television. Yeah, all right. While they're getting ready. No, I was thinking of deodorants, and deodorants are connected actually with my favorite personality on television.
Katie Winters, how come you're so... how come you're so fresh and cool all the time? I don't have any sweat glands.
Oh, dear, dear, dear. And now, back at the ranch. Continuing in the oddball division, Ta, Delta Phi, and the Trolls. A look into the frolic and fun and humdrum of the modern college campus as seen by the students. Ladies and gentlemen, Ta, Delta Phi, and the Trolls in their presentation of the Uni-Diversity.
We wish the state would build a new MTA to carry us to UCLA. Trams don't travel out this far. We are stuck on top of Palomar. Oh, where are you? Sects have been suppressed by the dean, but some factions still think them keen. We shall overcome someday. William Buckley's our boy all the way.
Someday I wish that the Regents would build us a new MTA. I'd like to travel from Venice and Northridge and Culver to UCLA. Trams go to Gailey and Hedrick and Reber and Sproul, but not too far. We can't get there if we park in a lot which is way on the top of Far Mount Palomar. Even though sects are indeed not well liked and suppressed by the dean, yet FSM and Judd Birch, also other societies, still think them keen. Ringo for president, anchors away, trusts the Trojans, an apple a day. Paperback discuss no go, but today protest Selma, Keep Kerr, and South Vietnam.
Just two things on which we unite. Shreds! And let there be light.
Beer, that is.
Hairy-chested fat men are we, and we'll drink to God's grand eternity. Firm and strong, united are we. Drink to girls in company, drink, 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 down with sobriety. Rock!
Hey guys, let's all go over to sorority row.
Yeah!
Forget it! We and our UCLA frat friends have come to a parting of the ways. They want us just like we were in our freshman days.
Yeah!
But I'm a good girl now. I want to be handled like a good girl now. I'm tired of telling mother lots of clever lies. I'm through with buying sweaters in a too small size.
I'd rather be too innocent than
Much too wise.
I'm a good girl now.
Oh, yeah? We shall overcome! Down with them! We shall overcome! Down with Mario Savio! Who?
What are those things you're carrying?
These are our sex symbols.
So, who needs sex?
You gotta have sex! You gotta have sex! Lots and lots and lots of sex! 'Cause you know whenever you're feeling tense, you can always find friends with sex. The regions turn red, 'cause the sinners we have led. We try to show them that we mean what we say, but we're carted away instead.
Old men regents, those old men regents, they pay me nothing and treat me rotten. They just like football, they just dig football all day. I feel I'm going, it's getting hazy. I flunked Gail Goodrich, I'm going crazy. And old men regents can just watch football all day.
Thank you, friends. I just want to say let's not have any more dissension here. You want to know what it's really like to be a freshman at UCLA?
Let us tell you a story about a boy named Aaron on that fateful day. He opened up the mail, hurrah! He told his parents I'm accepted at UCLA. So he got his reg packet and he went to enroll at the line reached the library. He filed his packet, he had 16 units and they all met on Monday at 3. Will he ever get out? No, he'll never get out. You can hear him scream and shout. Ow! He changed his mind, but he couldn't unfile it. He's a boy who'll never get out. He went back to the coop to get a burger with some lettuce and a slice of cheese. Well, the cheese was cold and the meat was wormy and the mustard made him sneeze. Will he ever get out? No, he'll never get out. You can hear him moan and shout. His taste buds died and he buried them in Westwood. He's a boy who'll never get out. He awoke the next morning with his stomach aching. Well, he wasn't feeling too good.
Should I go to student health?
He asked his roommate.
Do you really think I should?
So he went to student health and he told the nurse his stomach hurt, his nose did run. 'Twas a 9:45, he couldn't find his reg card. He died at 1:30. Will we ever get out? No, we'll never get out. No matter what we pay, we will stay forever as undergrad students in the halls of UCLA.
I know for a freshman that guy in the Bermudas looked like he had awful hairy legs. But he actually has only one hair. It weighs 10 pounds. It's terrible. I had a very bad time at UCLA when I first came here with the medical center. We've all been through the med center, have we not? Once or twice. With the 19-year-old doctors. And you walk into a little room. When you go there, oh, I'll never forget. You walk, there's just a table and hooks around the room, and there's one sign, take off your clothes and hold your valuables in your hand. And then I went, there is nothing like the feeling, girls, of standing naked for hours in a line with your shoes on, because you really know you're naked. The only benefit with a bunch of men standing in line naked that I can think of is that nobody pushes. Anyway, I'd like to... Those idiots. I was down there And, you know, you go through each section. They got heart, lung, and eye, ear, nose, and everything, and the head, and this part, and every... Hi! Glad to have you back! You know, you go through every section. You never realize how frightened you can be until you start walking out from a section. Like I just had my x-ray, and I was walking out, and the nurse goes, "Yeah!"
Mr. Gold, there seems to be a little problem with you. You see, there seems to be an obstruction between the right and left lobe of your lung.
It took 4 doctors 4 hours at the medical center to figure out I was wearing a mezuzah. I'll explain to the frats what a mezuzah is now. It's a... That is an early St. Christopher's medal. Riot! Riot, everyone. And now, still in the oddball division, ladies and gentlemen, me. Still in the oddball division, Alpha Phi Omega, the largest national fraternity in the country, service fraternity in the country. Some of the gentlemen from this fraternity, by the way, are the gentlemen who are helping with us on the technical crew here this evening, presenting a day at UCLA. Ladies and gentlemen, Alpha Phi Omega and the Talking Bruin Blues.
Well, the day began at a hectic pace, out of bed, into my car, off to school to find me a parking place. Parked in front of a great big house on a big wide street. Out came a little old lady looking real nice and sweet. "You can't park here," she said to me, "unless you belong to my afternoon tea." Just kept it driving. I was driving all around about having fits when I spotted a sign that said, "Park for 6 bits." They took my money and said with a smile, "The walk is not far, just a short mile or 2. It was mostly 2. I just kept to walking. Finally got to my class about 10 of 8. The professor came in half an hour late. As he walked to the board, everyone hissed. He just turned right around and said, "Class dismissed." I just kept walking. Got to my next class, expecting to get a rest. The professor came in and said, "Let's have a test." I kicked him in the... and said I'd rather not. You never asked us what we know, but only what we forgot. Couldn't understand a question. Kind of felt like a loon. I looked all around. I was in the wrong room. I just kept walking. Got to a place they call Hyde Park. Well, the feller standing on the box just talking away. Must have been some kind of farmer. Talked all about the sun and making hay. Stopped to look around a while. Buildings far as I could see. Not a one was like the other. There's nothing like diversity. Was one particular caught my eye. Kind of stood out from the rest. All real proud of our towering waffle. Won first prize last week in a baking contest. I was getting thirsty about this time. Found me a Coke machine, put in my dime. The ice came down when I pushed 7 up. Coke came out next. Never did get a cup. Walked on over ways to the coffee machine. Put in my money. Punched coffee and cream. The cup came out first and I sighed with relief. But what happened then just filled me with grief. I took out my cup and before it turned around, another one took its place and the coffee came down. The coffee kept a coming. Cups all over the floor. After about 25, I just couldn't drink anymore. About an hour or so passed, and the cup stopped a-coming. But that coffee never did stop running. I just kept walking. Was getting hungry about now. I went to a place they called a coop. Gals behind the counter looked like alley-oop. When I finished eating, I wasn't feeling too well. Went down to the med center and waited a spell. Told the doc I was having chills. Gave me a shot and a box of pills. Had a friend went there with a broken arm. Doc told him to gargle, stay in bed and keep warm. Was getting near midnight. About time to get my parking permit. Bedded down for the night, found a place on the lawn. About 3 in the morning, the sprinklers turned on. What a mess that was, people running all around like they was playing tag. Most of them still in their sleeping bag. I just kept walking. Went to see the chancellor about refunding my tuition money. He laughed till I cried. I didn't feel so funny. I'm a student here. I have a right to complain. All right, what's your number? I mean, what's your name? He looked at a big chart on the wall. He kind of stared at me. Sorry, can't help you, son. You ain't in the plan, you see. What plan? Why, the plan of the great university. And I just kept walking.
Okay. And for the last group in the oddball division, Sigma Alpha Mu. And they're a group which did not want to tell me what they were singing. They just wanted me to describe them as gentlemen who will be commenting on the contemporary American scene. And they call themselves the Wall Wizard and his Klansmen. Ladies and gentlemen, Sigma Alpha Mu.
I don't want to frighten you folks. Now, I just want to begin things. You know what I mean. I wish I was in the land of cotton. No time later, I forgot to look away. Hey, oh, you're just a little too loud on snare drum. You know what I mean? Keep it down. Good, good. All right, chorus. Chorus, lovely chorus. I wish I was in the land of cotton. No time later, I forgot to look away. You're doing it again. You're slipping back. Just prove it, you know? All right. Boy, I wish I was in Dixie. Boy, I wish I was. Boy, I wish I was. You see, my feeling is that while I like a good snare drum, I feel that volume-wise it's just a little loud, you know? There it is. Good. Now that's a world of difference. I like it. I like it. Chorus. Pretty now, pretty now. Boy, I wish I was in Dixie, away, away in Dixie. Say, you people ain't akin to that snare drummer, are you? Good. Now, come on. Pretty, pretty now. Boy, I wish I was in Dixie, away, away in Dixie. Oh, hold it! All right, you smart aleck Yankee drummer, you. You can play loud, and you can cover up Cotton, buddy. But you better not cover up Dixie, or I'll plaster your head through that cotton-picking snare drum and secede from this band, so help me Lawrence Welk, I will. Now, come on, let's finish this song. Well, I wish I was in Dixie, away, away in Dixieland. I'll take my stand to live and die in Dixie. Away, away, away down south in Dixie. Away, away, away down south in Dixie. It's over. That'll shut you up.
Say, Mac, what are you doing?
I'm looking for my watch.
Oh, did you lose it? That's too bad.
Yeah.
Tell me, where'd you lose it?
I left it behind the piano over there.
Well, what are you looking for it over here for?
Well, the light's better, stupid.
Tell me.
Yeah.
When you were born, did you have a fairy godmother?
No, but I had an uncle we weren't sure of. You dirty. Why don't you tune the bass, huh?
Okay, babe. Let me hear a nice bad G. No, a little higher. All right, that's good.
Oh, heavenly shades of nights are falling. It's twilight time. Out of the mist, your voice is calling. It's Say there, fella, you sweet thing. You're playing the wrong part.
Oh, I'm just playing a little bit of beep-bop-a-doo. I think there's something wrong with my music here.
No.
I keep playing the same piece over and over again.
That's it. That is it.
Like, man, the same thing again and again?
Again and again. You're not as stupid as you look, sweetie.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. I count the moments, darling, till you're here with me. Together, at last, at twilight time. And cool it here in the afterglow of day. We keep our rendezvous. Leave the blue. Here in the sweet and same old way, I fall in love again as I did then. Say there, you. Hey, Poopsie, you're all wrong. Stop.
No, man, I thought you were through.
We weren't through.
I come from a Jewish school of music, and like Mitch Miller, and maybe like Skitch Henderson, and boy, I've been playing none of that classical jazz.
You play that classical jazz or you won't get paid tonight. That's my boy. Deepening shadows gather splendor as day is done. Now, slow down, please.
No, man, don't stop me now. I'm getting where I like it.
You ruined my lovely composition. Twilight.
Ladies and gentlemen, So far in the first half of the evening, you've heard the Alpha Epsilon Pi, Phi Epsilon Pi, the crowd, Kappa Kappa Psi, Alpha Phi Omega, Tau Delta Phi, and the Trolls, Sigma Alpha Mu, and the new Presbyterian singers. Ladies and gentlemen, there was a lot of hard work that went in the first half of the evening on the parts of these groups. How about thanking them?